Hi, it's Rob. And yeah, if I sound a bit weird, it's because I'm still trying to think of how to tell you about types of images, okay? So let me cover these first two, photographs and banners and graphics. This is before I go into the formats and the future. Okay, so photographs, banners, graphics. So the reason I'm a little bit, what's the word? I sound sort of cautious or reluctant. Sorry, let me just minimize this. Is because, I repeat, I've just told you in the previous video, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not really, and yet I've got hundreds of gigs of stuff. So for example, I bought a thing when I did a year ago, who knows, and sorry about my filing, it's under huge folder. Sorry about my frogs. So for example, I've got 100 tips open in a new window. So but these are images that I have access to. Are they images? No, they're not. They sorry, it's PLR, so it came with funny stuff. Have a look. But anyway, it came with an e-cover, so I do get an image out of it, so that's not a good example. 500 transparent photos. Okay, so this is just one folder in hundreds that I've got. Didn't I ask it to? So there we go. So I paid for this. Every now and again I actually use them. So it's literally got all of these things that where I slip up here or I lose out time-wise is, for example, with my fibromyalgia now. Am I really going to come through here at any given time and come through these and look at, how have I got this view? I want a view bigger. Am I going to come through here and look for these amongst the 500 for the ones that relate to fibromyalgia? And yeah, from a health point of view, maybe. And it's pretty cool that they're in here. Have I ever used them? Will I ever use them? It's a good question. Let's get out of there. So nature stock foot images. So videos, stop, go back. Anyway, copyright stock footage, graphics, photos, PNG images. Let's go to photos for a bit. And if you look at all of these, so we choose construction, and these are all free photos related to construction that I can use anytime I like, and I do use these, especially with client sites, which I don't do anymore. But it was a pretty handy thing that I could come in here and literally go through these until I find an image that, okay, so it's not, I've got far too many things open, until I find a thing that works for my client. When I was in South Africa, this would have worked because it's a black guy. Most of my clients or the workers were black. So can you see it's as opposed to Canadian construction like this, you're unlikely to find these guys in South Africa, especially not with that backdrop. But who knows? Anyway, I'm getting off the point. So types of images. Let's get rid of my huge PNG folder. In fact, I'm going to just scoot it over here. So as you can see, there was a ton of those. Now check this out. I've also got one that's, these are just randomly. These are from product images. If I can just get it to cooperate and go out the way. These were pixels. So these are images related to a greenhouse that I wanted to do something about. I don't remember who it was for. If it was just, probably, to be honest, because of my interests. I had it as a backdrop on my own front page. You know, this is for my computer, so that I kind of get mental happiness looking at cool images like this. Who knows? But they were all freely available. So all of these are available for greenhouses, or I obviously like them, so that's lovely. But these are from Pexels. It will be one of the sites I'm going to be sending it to you. Dramatic images, this definitely would have been for my background out. Actually, no, I did this for backgrounds, so not the spider. But what you do is you take an image like this, and then you build upon it in Photoshop, or you use it to write text on. So you take this image and you drop it later on, I'll show you, into a place like Canva, and you say, be strong, tomorrow will always come. Whatever you wanted to do. My bad, that was a really bad one out of my head. So those kind of things easy to find. Check here. Now I've got a vintage collection. These are stuff that I buy lots of. very likely there's one on my homepage still. In fact, let me pause this and show you. Okay, this was a bundle I paid $25 for something fairly recently. And check it out. All these things were in there. And so there's fonts and things, and there's in here are things like how to make comic things, a map creator. Okay, so there's lots of weird stuff. But at the same time, there will be, let's see what 7th Avenue designs are. Floral patterns. Fantastic. Now, these I get because the bundles don't always hang around. I buy them for the future. I plan to do print on demand with these. But this is pretty cool. So, you know, this is the kind of thing that I pay for. I've got, and in an entire bundle here of stuff. And some of them are weird. Grains. Swatches, really? Oh, this is Photoshop brushes type things. Yeah, there we go, brushes. So they do these kind of things. Cool. Okay, so have I shown you that you don't need that anymore, Rob? Have a look. Textures, polygon backgrounds, half screen. So can I get back to this? I don't know what else is on here. Oh yeah, sorry. Then there's also vectors. And what are these? These were patterns. These were full panoramas, logos, banners. Now these are cool because there's lots and lots of these available out there. Hang on a second. I used to love using them because they come in the Photoshop format. So I can load this image into Photoshop and then change it that says, hey, instead of stop. And then here I can say it, find out how you can reduce your stress in your daily life by choosing an income earning, whatever, you know, blah, blah. And I've got this banner. Now, long after I had millions of these, a thing called banner blindness appeared. So we're talking about 6 or 7 years ago. And people tended to not see the banners anymore. But by the way, they kind of do again. So a banner like this, I think, is as effective as nothing. And you know from social media, if somebody just typed these words, they're not going to do it. But this banner you would have spotted. Discover the secret to lose fat while gaining muscle. Funny. If there's a secret, I'm in. So, yeah, banners. Badass headlines, by the way, not just any common or garden banners. Buttons. I must be running out of examples. Not. Infographics. Check this out. These, I think these were PowerPoint ones. It's a JPEG, but I don't know what it works in. So this, I can go in and edit this that says so many people online in Egypt or Madagascar and turn this into an infographic. Oh, hang on a sec. Sorry, I try not to too much on your video. And so infographics, cool. Make that go away. Yeah, this is an infographic that comes in a PowerPoint format. Here are icons. I mean, there are trillions and trillions of these kind of things, and these are all types of images. Okay, so give me a second to see if I'm going to be telling you this. Types of images is next. No, my bad. I'm doing type of images. So, yeah, let me just quickly, because I'm already on 9 minutes, and this is the only important part. So, what I'm trying to tell you, sorry, my bad, confusing you. Lots and lots of images, JPEGs and vectors and images and things, and I can tell you that it's an issue with an ordinary person out there. So now, remember, I've already told you I'm not a graphic designer, but I definitely know the difference between a JPEG and a PNG and what they work. So obviously there are things like that. And the reason I say I know this is real, because with website design, when I get clients, no matter what they are, and some of them are professionals, they will always send me their photographs in the wrong size, the wrong resolution, and worse, the wrong format. they'll put the image in the email, like, you know, literally not attached, literally in the email. Then I tell them, no, please send them to me separately, and then they send it to me in a PDF. I'll email them back, sorry, I should have said please send it to me as a JPEG or PNG. And then finally, after like 3-day or 4-day gap, so obviously then on their side of the world, they have to go out and find out how to do that, because they've just got the stuff on a PDF or whatever. So can you see the problem? So let me just say this, and we'll talk about it again and again and again down here through all of the system, so don't panic too much. But other than there's tons and tons of places to do images and types of images, etc., whether it's a vector or whatever, I'm going to be telling you where to find them, where to source them. And if you source them from the places I tell you, you don't need to worry too much about vectors and stuff if you're doing normal things. If you aren't doing normal things, well, then you'll learn about vectors and sites that, like Illustrator, that you can work with instead of Photoshop, with vectors, and make graphics and turn yourself into a graphic business. In fact, I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing graphics as a course. I'm looking at my list. If I sound like I've gone, I don't know if I am going to be doing graphics, so if you need to know, ask. Okay, so, and remember, I'm not a graphic designer, so you probably find it's better for me to interview a graphic designer. So the format that most of your images need to be saved on, and we're not talking about the size of the images, we're going to talk about resizing images down here many, many times. But basically, JPEG is the most common type of image that you'd save an image as. So all of these millions of folders that are open, wow. Let's choose these. Check it out. So if you go here, right click it. Sorry, I picked a big one, and now it's going to zzz for a minute or two. Oh, come on. And I go to properties, it'll tell me JPG. So JPEG. Good job. Mostly images are JPEG. Okay. If you want to save it, these here I save as PNG. Now PNG means it saves this part of it, and the white bit here it leaves out as a background. So a PNG is when you need the background to be clear. Remember earlier I showed you, in fact it was this image. I said to you I open these up and I use them. So I could take a JPEG, open it in Canva, all of which I'm going to be showing you how to do, and drop a PNG image over it. In fact, this exact image, and it would look pretty cool, maybe. So that's JPEG PNG. Wow, I'm tempted to go and show you. 1 second, I'm going to do it. Okay, so this was the image. I right-clicked it. I said open in Photoshop. This is a PNG version, so that's a JPEG. This is a PNG version. I saved it. I right-clicked it. I saved it to my desk, and I opened both of them in Photoshop. Now, if I take this one, and I crop it, by the way, it's far too long to compare it to there. So for now, let me just crop it. So it's kind of similar to that one. Yeah. And then I'm going to just get it off the page here. So I use two streets. Now I'm back to the other image. I then drag this image across to here, and you'll get what I'm talking about. Really, where did it go? Oh, I see. I didn't bring it all the way. My bad. Wow. Hang on a second. I've caused havoc here. Typical. Okay, so I take this image and I make sure I bring it all the way to here. Pausing this 1 second. Well, that was bad. My PNG wasn't a PNG, so I went and got just a tent image from one of the PNG folders. So if you look, what I was talking about is you can now put a PNG, because it's got no background, anywhere you like on an image, okay? And then you can then, you know, do whatever else you need to do with the image. Wow, did I really need it to be that hard? So that you've then got whatever you need. Sorry, now I'm just wasting your time playing with graphics and stuff. But you could then create the banners and things that you wanted to, you know, for whatever your graphic was going to be. Point is that the JPEG was the background, and these are PNG where you can see through from the front to the back. Okay, I'm going to pause it again and make all this go away. One sec. Okay, so PSD stands for Photoshop. I don't know what the D stands for, but anyway, it's a format of image that opens in Photoshop, and vectors pretty much open in Illustrator or Photoshop, but a vector can also be a PNG, very often is a PNG. And then there's other things to do with this. Even though I've used up 15, 16, 17 minutes of life on this video, in reality you need to know that there's lots of kinds of images that you would use. So, you know, photographs, graphics, banners, all of that sort of thing. And they can be saved as JPEGs or PNGs or whatever it is. Later on, when I talk to you about where to play with it, here, Canva, PowerPoint, Photoshop, in here, I'll show you a couple of things there to be able to do that, so as you know how to save them as JPEGs and PNGs. Cool. Sorry about a bit of a weird video, my bad. Okay, let's get on to the next video. Cheers.